G'day, welcome back to my channel. So this week's video is going to be about this piece of hard maple. It's an offcut, and instead of throwing it onto the firewood, you can see the grain pattern is quite nice all the way around. It's got very little defects in it, which is a bit of a change in my case. So I've marked the centres of each side. It's been cut round on the bandsaw, and just a close look at the actual grain pattern before I start here. You can see I've marked it with a pencil there the curve, so I'm going to have that grain pattern maintained throughout the turning process, and I'll make this the top of the bowl and this the bottom. No more chat from me, let's get on with it. So the master plan, now it's mounted on the lathe between centres. I'm going to face up the bottom of the bowl. Might put a slight curve and start the shape, but mainly I'm going to adhere or epoxy a sacrificial chuck, which I like using on the bottom of bowls to maximise the depth of this bowl. Going to epoxy that onto the bottom, and hopefully the small chuck will hold this in place. So you've got to be very, very careful because there's not much grip on the entire surface of this bowl. I will get it textured on this surface here so it adheres a lot better, but well, we'll see. Well, that's got to go, obviously. It's a kind of an insect burrow, I'd say, and there's a bit of a divot here, but I'm going to leave that there as a feature, of course. And so I'm going to take this a little bit curvier towards the bottom. Going to lose a lot of real estate, but no matter. Now, since my plan involves a sacrificial chuck on the bottom of the bowl here, and a very small one to that, I'm going to sand the bottom of the bowl now from 120 grit through to maybe 320 grit to get a nice smooth surface here. I'm not really sure what finish we're going to put on the bowl here. These so-called, I'm going to call them features now. I'm not going to fill those, and certainly not going to fill this one. I'm just going to leave it just as is, and el naturel. you can see here we've got about 3/8 of an inch in thick on the wall, and over on this side we've got 1/8 of an inch thick on this wall. So yes, there's an overlation going on here. Why did this happen? Because the sacrificial truck was not dead center on the front of the bowl. So it's got a curvature on the outside which is off center to the inside of the bowl. And look, this happens, and it happens because the sacrificial truck moved during its curing time with the epoxy. So certainly going to take this bowl to its end. Yes, it's one side wall thicker than the other, but to be honest, it's still going to serve a purpose. That's my aim, so onwards. Going to use the thick 1.5 inch bowl scraper just to take out some of these tool marks and to smooth it out on the inside. Be ultra careful with this to make sure that you don't get a catch, because it does make a very, very deep channel. And I've got these walls on this side particularly, given that the side is thicker than the other. To keep reminding myself on that, and any catch, it's going to certainly go through the side of the wall. So I've got to do this very, very carefully. Now I'm going to use the Clean Armor tabletop sealer, Wood 750. So this goes on first with just one coat. It then sets it off with a UV lamp to make it hard, and it goes hard within seconds. So about a minute I'll put the UV light on for, and then I'm going to use the matte finish from the same people, Clean Armor. And so the actual finish on this bowl is going to be extremely fast. So what the sealer does, as its name suggests, it seals the wood and prepares the surface for the final, you know, whether it's a gloss or whether it's a matte type finish. I'm going for the matte on this one. I don't want it to be glossy, otherwise I would have done it a different way. I've used a gloss on this material before. I don't know, it's not, I've got better methods of finishing off bowls with a gloss finish. I generally like to go with the Acks paste, and then the friction polish, Mylan's friction polish, comes out for beaut. Whereas this particular product doesn't come up just like that, and so I use the matte finish, and it does come up really nice. And of course the benefit of this is it goes off in seconds, whereas everything else just takes hours between coats. On goes the UV lamp, and the light will set that sealer off. Just give that a couple of minutes. And on goes the Clean Armor Wood 757 matte on top of the wood sealer. Important to use a lint-free cloth when applying this, otherwise you'll end up with all little bits of cloth material in. Doesn't look good. So there's literally been minutes between the sealer, which is now sealed, and the mat that I'm putting on here now. It's a very, very quick finish. Whole thing done within about 5 minutes. And again, the UV lamp to make the matte finish hard. You can put a couple of coats on this, and I might just do that here. We'll see how it goes. So the bowl's been turned around, and I've cut off as much of the sacrificial chuck as I possibly could, mounted it into a friction chuck, and used the tailstock just to hold the bowl against that chuck. Now, just going to give it a shallow cut on the bottom here, because I know I've only got about a 1/4 inch on the bottom of the bowl, so I don't want to go through. Get that done. There you are, guys, it's all finished, and the bowl has been sealed and finished on the inside and outside, so the bowl has come out quite good. I'm not entirely happy with the fact that we've got an 1/8 of an inch on one side and a 3/8 of an inch on the other side. So you can look up very closely. That was a mistake on my part with a sacrificial chuck not being centered properly. And at the end of the day, it's a functional bowl, so you can't really argue with that. Finish has come up good with that ultraviolet, UV light situation with the finish. It's a matte finish. Bottom's been done. Maker's badge on the bottom. At the end of the day, happy with that, guys. Thanks for sticking with me this time, guys, and see you next week. Cheers.